Okay, so hopefully this works. It's kind of strange, but been trying to actually this is my fifth time trying to make this video, and it just keeps turning off. Phone is charged. This hasn't happened at all whatsoever before, but I don't know. I ended up putting one of those spiritual protection things, and if it works now, hopefully, maybe that's what it is. I don't know. But anyways, this story is actually it's a true story, and I think it's a story that's really gonna spook a lot of people out. But um, this is actually the story of Bloody Mary, and you know, there's a lot of legends out there that I've never experienced, like La Llorona or fairies, but this is one that I have had some type of experience with, and you know, let me get into it and I'll explain. But so we were in class. I used to go to this school called Flanders Elementary. I was in fourth grade. I remember we were. It was on a Friday before Halloween, and we are just watching movies. There was nothing going on that day. And my buddies and I were just talking about scary stories. We ended up talking about our experiences and witches and things like that. And this girl ends up wanting to join us. And so out of nowhere, a buddy of mine ended up asking us, he wanted to do it there. And there was to go inside the restroom and say Bloody Mary, turn off the lights and, that all that. So, of course, none of us are down to do it. I wasn't going to do it, to be honest with you. I said, the hell with that. But this girl, I remember her being skeptical, and it was actually her first time hearing about it, ends up, volunteering to do it. So she ends up saying she'll do it. In return, we have to buy her, stuff from the book fair that was going on, that month, and we agreed to it. So I remember she got up, she asked the teacher if she can go to the restroom. She goes to the restroom. A couple of seconds later, the guys ask, two of the boys ask the teacher if they can go to the restroom. She really didn't mind. There was nothing going on. Like I said, we are just watching movies. So I'm there. I'm talking to my buddies. They're gone. They're heading out in the hall, and I'm there. I'm talking to my friends, and outside the window, I see this cloud coming in, which was odd because that day was real sunny. It was real bright, and the clouds were coming in as if it was about to rain. And that's where we hear thunder, and all the lights, not just the classroom, all the lights from the whole school just turned off. And that's when we hear her scream, like a loud, terrifying scream, which was odd because the restroom was pretty far away. Even if she was to scream inside the restroom, we really wouldn't be. We should not have been able to hear her. But I guess she was real terrified that we heard it all the way down from the hallway. Um, so the lights turned off, and when we heard her scream, I mean, everybody starts screaming too because everyone's getting freaked out. Uh, well, the emergency, I guess the generator lights turn on, and where it has the red, the red exit lights and all the red, backup lights come on, and these two boys just run in. They run in and they're panicking, and they're telling the teacher that when the lights turned off, they saw that underneath the restroom, because you can see kind of like what's going on, like when in the corner of the door, they saw lights that were flashing. And let me just say this: whenever they were running back, I mean, the hallway from the restroom was to our classroom was a pretty good distance away, and they would close the doors because the way the restroom was set up was you could not get out of you couldn't get out from the outside to go to where all the playground was. They had that closed except for recess, but the door entering the restroom from the hallway, that was open. So all so from the distance that the boys are running from the restroom to the classroom, they said she never came outside. So they started panicking. They heard her scream, and then they heard some other commotion going on in there. So the teacher comes out. She goes to the restroom. She comes back and she's panicking. She's like, "We're, this is not a game. This is not a joke. What's going on?" And I guess she thought they were playing a prank, but nobody knew what was happening. She wasn't in there, and nobody could find her. And so I remember a couple of hours. I remember cops came, parents came. They were asking all of us questions. They were asking, And it finally got to a point where one of the cops was getting frustrated and saying, "This is not a joke anymore. You guys need to tell us where she is." And we really had no clue what was going on. We had no clue what was happening. We just know um, that we had experienced, or that she went into the restroom, and we couldn't find her, and it was very bizarre. It was very, even to this day, I wondering what really happened. But anyways, we don't know if maybe like, because we never heard from her again, and this is the truth. And we don't know if maybe because we were in fourth grade, maybe they weren't telling us anything. But maybe she went home, ran all the way home, got spooked, and decided never to want to come back to the classroom. That's what we thought. Maybe she just got so spooked out that it was just one of those things where she was so angry with us that. But it just seems like too much. It doesn't make sense. You know what I'm saying? That's why it's a little hard to explain. But we don't understand what happened to her after that, and they never wanted to tell us. And the teacher kept telling us, "Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it," or they're looking into it, or you know. It finally ended up where they told us that the family just moved, but they never actually told us what happened to her. And of course, sometimes we would ask, is everything okay? Is she okay? And I'm not gonna mention her name, right? But um, because I mean, I really don't know if she's out there and will get embarrassed by this video or whatever. But it was one of those things where we never wanted to mess with that again, and it was a very crazy experience. Um, the two boys that were out there, like I said, they said that whenever the lights all turned off, that they heard like a woman yell inside the restroom, and that she was, they saw lights like flashing underneath the restroom. It was like a I really can't describe, but they said that you could see underneath the door jam, like it was, you could just see lights like flickering. And that's when she screamed, and they just ran. They didn't go inside the restroom, they just ran to the classroom. But yeah, I mean, this is a true story. And we never heard of her. We never knew what happened to her. And I mean, I keep up with a buddy of mine in San Antonio when we were kids, in that classroom, and we don't know. I mean, it's still a mystery to us. So maybe the grown-ups decided they didn't need to tell us, and she probably, they were probably angry and decided to move. But that, to me, that seems a little too far of a stretch. So yeah, crazy, right?